Well, we've been thinking and we've been dreaming and we've been planning to.
I think most of you are pretty familiar with my shop. We covered the build on the Garage Journal. In the past couple of years, we've been doing a lot of projects with Rexrod and Chassis in here. Keith held his business in here for a couple of years, and he's now in a brand new facility that's 3 times larger. And so I've got my space back, and as you can see, it's quite a bit cleaner. Not necessarily cleaner, it just has less stuff in it than before. And this is my main fabrication area, or not even so much fabrication area, it's just general maintenance of all my old cars and some light metal fabrication, that kind of thing. And so it's set up mainly to be a mechanic shop. However, I recently have a need to do a lot of woodworking. And so this video is going to kind of show you how I plan to do that, how I plan to convert what is primarily a car maintenance and fiddling around shop into a woodworking shop when I need it to be. So let's first start with the machine tools that are already on hand. So we covered this one a couple of weeks ago. This is my new vintage Delta 9-inch contractor saw. It's normally not going to be sitting here, but I'm waiting on a mobile base, so I'm going to build one. I haven't decided yet. The rest of this stuff is kind of metal, wood, either or. My disc belt sander, my vintage Craftsman drill press, and it's got the variable speed pulleys on it so I can slow it down for metal or speed it up for wood. And then finally, my oldest is my bandsaw, another vintage Craftsman piece that I put a speed controller on a DC motor. So it obviously is set up to run metal or wood. Now this space works really well for me. It's laid out well, everything's great when I'm doing my day-to-day activities and changing oil or building brackets or doing any of those little things that I do. But recently my wife has decided she wants a cabinet system inside the house. We got a quote, it was crazy, so I decided I'm going to take up woodworking. But I don't want to convert my shop from what it is into a wood shop. So I've come up with a solution. Here is that solution. So what I really wanted to do was kind of build a wood shop that could be broken down and stored into a corner of the shop. And by corner, I mean like 2 foot by 2 foot square, something like that. And believe it or not, all of this is a pretty well equipped wood shop. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a time lapse of me setting this all up to give you an idea of how much work it takes to convert my shop into a wood shop. So let me start that. Normally in the location where I'm setting up this MFT table, I have a small fabrication assembly bench. It's a mess right now due to another project, and I was too embarrassed to let the world see it, so it's off frame. Oh, I'll get more into this later, but just as a disclaimer of sorts, I'm not in any way sponsored by Festool. In fact, I paid full price for all of this stuff. I bought it from festoolproducts.com, which is a toolnut.com subsidiary. Good guys, by the way. And here comes the dust extractor with all the Systainer stacked on top. It's kind of crazy how much weight that thing will carry. Here I'm squaring up the MFT table with some bench dogs. It's only the second time I've done it, so it's probably taking me longer than it should. And finally, to complete the setup, the dust extraction and power is hooked up to the track saw. So that took me just over 5 minutes to put all this together, and that's only the second time I've put together this MFT table. But what is Festool? I'm sure most of you guys know Festool is a German manufacturer that makes really high-end tools at really high-end prices. And in the market, you'll find there's 2 kinds of people regarding Festool. You'll find those guys that are absolute freaks for this stuff. I mean, they've got the hat, they've got the t-shirt, they've got hundreds of Systainers, their entire shop is laid out around Festool products. They're freaks. And then you'll have the guys that just cannot stand it and think you can do the same thing with DeWalt and it's just overpriced, kind of Apple fanboy kind of thing. I'm neither. I have no experience with this stuff. In fact, I haven't even worked with wood in over 10 years. So my idea here is what kind of results can a guy like me get with tools like this? And Festool as a system kind of has two really big benefits. One being is that their system's almost entirely packaged in these sustainers. And these sustainers obviously are small and compact for contractors to take them from job site to job site. I don't have any job sites to go to, but what I like about this is very small and compact. It fits really well in the corner of my shop and gets this stuff out of the way when I'm not using it. The other main benefit of Festool is supposedly their dust collection is incredible. I've used it a little bit getting used to this stuff, and so far it seems to be. But what I like about that and what I really wanted as far as dust collection goes is I like to keep my shop fastidiously clean. Like, I'm kind of a freak, and I don't want sawdust everywhere. So that was really important to me, and one of the reasons that I splurged on this stuff. So I guess stay tuned. I'm going to kind of go through each one of these products and give you my thoughts and feelings about them. I'm not going to do full reviews necessarily because there's tons of full reviews out there. I just want to give you my perspective of how they work and are they worth the money and that kind of thing. So stay tuned.